I forget. Was Carnum completely told about the going on of the mace? Like everything about it?
I mean, I imagine so.
He was told the details of it, but not like the fine details of it.
So not like how to wield it, but hey, here's what this does.
Yes, and also wasn't told, hey, this is how we got this enchanted.
Yeah. I was told what I needed to know.
So there's no need to detect magic or anything for it then, right?
I mean, you certainly can.
Just might not tell you anything new.
It takes 3 rounds, so barely a minute. Technically. Unaan looks at them and goes, as they're handing over their mace, hey, you want me to check it out and see if there's anything that they didn't tell you about it? Any magical properties?
I mean, go ahead if you want, but I imagine that they probably would have told us everything.
I hand him the mace.
Alright, I concentrate on it for a round. I'm guessing, is there a presence or absence of magical aura?
No.
I mean, the answer would be yeah, because there's magical shit in the area. Because it
yes.
doesn't.
No.
It's not on the mace. It's auras. I spend a second round. Is the mace one of these?
You can detect a faint aura coming from the mace. That's it. You are essentially like holding it.
Okay.
Did I break again, or is just no one talking?
No, it's just me not talking.
Okay.
So it's a faint power, faint aura.
Faint conjuration, specifically.
Okay. After looking at, wait, conjuration?
Yes. Don't ask me why. The merciful modifier is conjuration.
Right. Merciful is conjuration. That's right. He goes, nope. It's just got the merciful enchantment on it, as you were telling them. There's no hidden magic in it. It's relatively faint, so it's not made by anyone that would be devious.
I mean, I would expect that.
Unaan kind of shrugs his shoulders. You can never be too sure.
True, but
I mean, you could use it to take a captured target alive.
That's true. And then, just for future reference, basically, so you guys would know, for detect magic, 1 round you detect the presence or absence of magic. 2 rounds you get to find out how powerful the most powerful aura is around and how many others there are. And then for a 3rd round, you can focus on one to find out its aura, which is either faint, moderate, strong, or overwhelming, which will tell me how strong it is, so we can know if, like, say, a really powerful asshole was here or a really weak one. As well as if it was gone, it can tell me how long ago it was there. If the spell was overwhelmingly strong, meaning level 10 plus magic, so literally just deity, basically, that can last 1d6 days. Otherwise, things only last for a few rounds. But on that 3rd round, if I focus on it, I make a knowledge arcana, I can determine the school of magic, and I can attempt a spellcraft.
yes, I believe it's spellcraft.
Yeah, I can do knowledge arcana for spells or spellcraft for magic items.
But I think once we've finished that, we are all good to move on.
And then I also can do read magic to read magic, which is what I did on the scroll. So if anyone was hoping I was going to give them the create water, just so you know, Unaan has taught himself to create water. So he cannot give it to anyone.
Alright, at this point, Karnam's going to, once everyone's finished talking for a bit, just gonna get up, stretch, and start heading out the door.
Does Steve Rat stop him, Kelp, since he's at the door?
Yes, he does.
Wait, which side's the door on? Oh. I keep thinking these two buildings are the same building.
They're identical. They were built at the same time.
Well, they're also
alright?
kind of clipping into each other.
That was the point. There is no gap between them. They're built in unison.
Anyway.
Want more knowledge why those buildings are joined together? Knowledge logo.
Damn it. No.
You go into the next place, go to the bar, and it's the same barkeep.
They have the same wait staff, which is none.
It's 2 bars run very specifically only from twins. Each twin has to work in a separate area.
Before I go on with Lamb with Steve Rat, anything else going on inside?
I don't think so. Personally, Unaan was planning just to eat and then to go to the magic test and find out when it's all going, or magic test in style since it's done from the same people, and find out when that's going on. If they have enough time, then he'll try and catch someone else's thing and then go to it. Otherwise, if it's starting right away, then obviously he's going to stay.
Unaan's gonna...
Unaan?
No. Kaz is gonna tap Unaan on the shoulder. So, have you heard anything about any competitions going on today? I've seen the magic competitions and I'm very well interested. I need to prove to people that, well, necromancy is not as evil as is portrayed.
I'm sorry, what word did you say there?
He said,
Necromancy.
you mean necromancy?
Necromancy?
Yes, necromancy.
You're turning things into
but
cats?
But Kaz is now calling it necromancy.
Look, the emphasis
developing
on his
his accent.
syllables are a bit different.
Okay. I was
Unaan
about to try and
stares
make
at-
that joke, but you did way
Unaan
better than
stares
that.
at you for a second. Do you mean necromancy?
Yes, necromancy.
Well, there's the magics going on. Otherwise, if you're good at fishing, or if you know a lot about nature, or you can ride and shoot a bow at the same time, and then there's the whole mapping thing.
Bah. Those
And
sound
then-
silly. Those sound like something somebody in a fighter's guild would do.
And then
Or a
Carnum
druid.
was talking to Steve
Or
Arad
someone who
about...
can see further than 60 feet.
To be fair, I could
That's
actually
it.
see Tate's
Shut
character
up.
trying to do the mapping.
he just
Yeah.
he just draws a very small detailed circle on the map and goes, there you go, I mapped the room. Anyway,
You know, I contemplated doing the goddamn... I'm treating Kaz as not a joke character, but I contemplated doing the bullshit that takes more than 60 feet.
anyway, and then there's the theft test, which Carnum was talking to Steve Arad about last night.
That technically neither of you were awake for.
Oh, I thought he was there when, or I thought
Yeah,
I was there when he
you
talked
would
about
know.
it. Never mind, I don't add that part into it then. Or is that written on the board?
Oh, I mean, the theft test would be on the page that you guys got of the events.
Okay, then yeah, I do list it then. I don't say the Carnum part, but I go, and there's the theft test.
You could have also added that Steve Rat was part of that guild with the theft test. Because your character would know that.
I thought you said me, Kaz, and Tarus all know that now. Because he said it at the fighting tournament.
Well, essentially everyone would know this at this point.
So yeah, I don't add that part. I assume Kaz can figure it out. I assume Kaz isn't too... stupid. I was trying to find a nicer way to say it. There wasn't.
Kaz isn't stupid. He's just... This is all new to him. He's lived in the Astomoi city where things have very specific... Like, the Astomoi city, I can imagine, Cal, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is probably very condensed
Incorrect.
and very straightforward.
They're all dead.
The city of the Braille Mind.
Yeah, they basically use their 60 feet and they've basically created, like, their apartments are all small and compact, and their built houses are all small, compact things, and stuff like that.
Try to make much use of 3D space as they can.
Yes.
Limit the number of objects that they have in the world. Wait.
Yeah. Possibly.
Now I'm just imagining that that the Astomoi city is basically just the robot apartment in Futurama, where Bender's room is the closet, and his closet is the room.
Well, listen, it's bigger than Bender's closet, but it's more of like Japanese efficiency apartments.
Dog kennel?
AKA very tiny, compact, and very stacked up on top of each other to, like you said, make use of the 3D space.
Anyway, back in game though. So yeah, Unaan tells you the list of events and then goes, I'm just gonna go to the magic ones.
Ah, then I shall be accompanying you then, Unaan.
And that's when we switch over to Steve Rat, interrupting with Cardum.
Yep.
Assuming Lame is back. Okay, Lame is here.
Huh. Thought I was going to be running into you in a few minutes. You managed to find me before I got the chance.
Managed to find you. Haven't you been staying here the past few days?
I mean, true.
And I was here last night?
I mean, I might have left earlier in the day. Or night? I don't know. Semantics.
Dawn of the fourth day.
Oh no. Carnum's drunk. And it's only 10 a.m.
Yeah, man, that's one of my traits. I'm a day drinker.
Traits!
Excuse me?
It's my negative, okay?
I just have 2 basic positives.
Anywho. Steve Rat goes on to say, yeah, I thought I would stop by and actually make sure you make it to the Thieves Guild.
Is there something obstructing the road? Or have you guys moved location?
No, we haven't moved and nothing's obstructing. It's just making sure that you actually come.
Do I need to be worried about taking a blackjack to the head?
High or low?
Low?
No.
Do I need to make a sense motive check?
If you want.
If I can figure out where my zone is.
Since motive tells you he's lying, he's gonna kill you.
18.
You could tell that because you had not shown up to the previous events and someone expressed interest in them, that he isn't sure if you actually intended on coming to the theft test or not.
I don't think I ever expressed interest in the other ones. In fact, I'm pretty sure I said I'm not really cut out for them.
To Steve Rat, you expressed interest.
I don't think I did.
To Steve Rat, you expressed interest.
Lamb, he's not saying that you did. He's saying Steve Rat feels that you did.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I just blatantly told him to his face I didn't, but whatever.
Don't question
It was
Steve Rat's
nerves.
logic.
Steve Rat will assimilate you.
Well, shall we be on our way then?
Right. So has the event technically already started, or do they have a starting gun, so to speak?
What's a god?
I mean,
Funny, you should say that. Pulls out gun, puts it
Our-
to Carnum's head. Gets
are
work.
gunslingers not a thing in this edition then?
They are, but that type of tech has not really been commonplace yet.
True. We are in like the main center island, though.
Yes, but that tech still would not be commonplace.
Still
they
on
would
the
have seen
black
it.
market.
Fine. Or is there a starting tape, so to say? Like an opening speech?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, also yes.
Long answer, yes.
I was thinking more the long answer is, you're late to it.
I don't have my monk speed yet.
I was trying to come up with a response, by the way. What's a starting tape? I couldn't come up with a good enough reason.
If you have done that, I just would have made a casting couch joke.
Well, nothing happens on your journey over to the Thieves Guild, Lame.
Alright.
Except for the DM coughing.
Probably a good thing that you pointed out, by the way, that they have a starting speech, or else I might have actually, like, started taking shit off of guards I passed.
Which, I mean, to be fair, if you got caught, the guards still would assume that it would be like, oh wait, theft test? Theft test. Okay. They didn't know that it hasn't officially started yet.
Gotcha.
So it's today.
Only deal non-lethal damage to knock you out for the rest of the time being.
Steve Dillett.
So they're off to the Thieves Guild. Tarus, Kaz, Saandip, and Unaan. What are you guys doing?
Well, gonna head out to the Druid Guild. I figure they're gonna try and start the nature event early.
Alrighty. Well, you have a pleasant time over with the Druids.
Hey, Lamb, what's your alignment?
Unaan.
He was true neutral, I believe.
Fair enough. I was just gonna say to him, this isn't necessarily the no suggestions, but you know, this would be the perfect opportunity to steal something and not give it back. God, I miss playing an evil ass character. Anyway, I guess Unaan's walking out with Kaz since we're going to the magic thing in the center of town.
I'll walk at the same time. Like, I'm gonna head over to fishing. Maybe I'll check up on what you guys are doing with the magic later.
I don't know why Mumble's breaking on me so much.
Happens.
It's okay.
So Saandip is heading to the pier, you two are heading... Or you three are heading towards the center? And Taurus will be heading towards the Druids Guild.
Yeah, I was gonna say all three of us are technically heading to the center, but then Taurus is just gonna keep going.
Yep.
Anything happen along the way there, Kel?
Nope, not unless you guys want to stop somewhere.
I just put the pieces over there, but on the way there, is there a magic shop that we can pass by?
What's the exact route you took?
Let me, probably this. Probably not that way, but this way, since there's shops and shit that way. And I've gone that way enough to know that there's really no shops going that way. Mostly,
is
I'm
there
on
a magic shop over here. Let's find out. I don't remember.
I mean, what I'm getting at more is mostly I'm looking for a shop that would sell stuff that would work relatively well with the magic style. I mean, I have things like candles, so if I want to lay down candles and light them as a part of my thing, I have those, but I'm looking for anything that might catch my eye in that sense.
You are able to find a shop.
Is it the Blank Tree?
Yes. And you're just looking for magic candles and whatnot to help out then, or?
Just things in general. But yes, I do tell Kaz, and if Taurus is walking with us still, unless he went the other way, I go, hang on 1 minute. I want to look in here and see if there's anything I can use as like a prop inside of the magic style test. And if they do not go in with me, then I just go in and I take a look around. And what do my magic-y magic eyes tell me? I'm not using detect magic, just what do I see?
Well, if you actually had magic-y magic eyes, you would just notice auras everywhere. And you would be blinded by them. But since you're not using magic-y magic eyes, you notice a bunch of magic devices. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
If you want, I'll take a minute to look if you want to just continue with one of the other ones that are doing something.
Sure. Anyone else stopping at any place along the way to the path? Place. It's terrible English.
Unaan, on the way, he's gonna look out for like a miscellaneous shop. Maybe one that specializes in like toys, tricks, or props.
So he's looking for a hooker. Looking to turn a few
No.
tricks.
He's just looking to buy a deck of cards.
Well, you are able to find such a thing at the Glittering Mug, which is not too far from the blank tree.
Alrighty. Kaz turns to Unaan. I will be right back. I've got something prepared for the magic style test. And I would like some help with props. Have you heard anything about it? Like, can we use props and other such things?
I'm not sure. Steve Arrett said that he had seen people use magical props, but I was going to ask if we can use non-magical ones once we got there as well.
Right. Well, I'll follow you with that, because it would be nice to know. Anyway, it'd be nice to also have a deck of cards. I've got these dice, but no cards to play with them with.
Cause, roll me perception.
Ah, those are Noah's dice. I can't touch those.
Stop going after
Where
my
are the
dice.
Jesus. 7.
Never mind.
The thing that's funny to me is I have dice and cards. Unaan does not tell you that. I also have dominoes.
Kaz steps up to the shopkeep. Good morning.
Shopkeep does not appear to be there.
Kaz looks around. Huh. I wonder if they're at the competition. One of the competitions.
Do you take a moment to look around the shop?
He does.
Roll me perception.
No camera 2. That's always nice again. Damn it, I need to set a camera. 22! Nat 20.
Bonus perception's 2.
Yep.
Is it untrained?
It is untrained, yes.
Oh.
So I'm only using natural skill. And it is not a white necromancer class skill. So I have to spend extra points.
Okay then.
I figure it fit with the theme anyway, you know, with the Astomoi.
Yeah, I suppose, but I figured you would have had precision. Anyway, you were able to find a sign in the shop that tells you that you just need to pay for the goods and be on your way. There does not appear to be a actual shopkeep here to monitor situations.
Huh. Kaz then looks at the price of the cards. How much are they? Newsflash, I think it's like silver or something, or gold. I'm not sure.
Well, it depends what kind of cards you want to go with for. Just basic cards? Would you like them to be marked? Would you like to be
just
fortune
basic
tellers
cards.
Or hero deck cards?
Oh god,
please not
Just
Hero
a
Hero
deck.
basic 52 deck.
Please no Hero deck for Tate. He will kill us all.
No Harrow deck. My character may have... He has, one of his traits is Omen, so I ain't touching a Harrow deck with a 10-foot pole. Although it would fit with the trait. No, it's just a regular playing card deck.
Going for a fancy set of cards or
Fancy
Just a
set of
common.
dice.
standard old deck of cards?
Yep.
1 silver is what you see on the price tag.
Alrighty. What's the fancy price? 1 gold?
20 silver.
20 silver. Got it. Kaz takes a small... He looks at the counter where you would normally pay and wonders if there's a spot where he can drop the 20 silver into. Instead of just, you know, leaving it on the counter.
So you do what with the silver?
Seeing if there's a spot, like a box he can drop the money into.
You were able to find one on the counter.
Alrighty. He puts the 20 silver inside the box and takes the fancy cards. And heads back to, Unaan.
Who is in the blank tree still.
Do they have any kind of targets or anything that I could set up?
What kind of targets in particular are you looking for?
Just anything in general. Something like it could be a dummy that is stationary, or maybe it's magical and it moves. or if not a dummy, but like a thing you would normally shoot an arrow at, or a dartboard or something of that nature that again makes itself keep itself up, so to say. Anything that essentially, if I were to in the style, if I were to attack it, or if I were to summon Aethys and have her attack it, something to attack.
You are able to find some target dummies that seem to be made of a special wood, and they happen to be wet.
Oh my.
Is the shopkeep in here?
She is.
I look at her and I point at it. Hey, what's up with these target dummies?
She responds with telling you that those target dummies are made of green wood. So, for those that are unaware, that is a special type of wood that has been magically modified by a dryad. Essentially, they repair themselves over time. But they also have to be wet, goes on to say, at least once every 24 hours, otherwise they will die. So it's like a living target.
I see. So, does it move around? Or does it just fix itself?
It just fixes itself. It is not animated.
Okay. He continues walking around, looking around. Is there any kind of items that would keep themselves afloat? Like candles that will float roughly 5 feet in the air?
You are not able to find any candles, but you are able to find some dull gray stones.
Okay. 1 second. He looks at her again. Are these just magically floating stones, or do they do anything?
They used to do something, but they've lost their purpose now.
Okay. Continues walking around, and I guess, is there anything that catches his eye? I can do a roll if you want, but anything that looks really unique? When looking online, all I could really find was weapons and armors, and then things that just cast spells. So, not anything really for showiness. I'm just kind of thinking along the lines of like firework effectiveness, things that are showy, that not really anything for combat. I don't really intend to keep this after its usage. Like the stones, maybe I'll hold on to, but I don't really know a purpose I'd use them beyond just this.
Those dull gray stones are great for casting permanency light on. Just to have a permanent torch with you at all times.
Gotcha.
There's also a few other things you can do with them, but I don't know if your character would come up with those ideas or not.
I mean, he might. He is technically smart. I just don't play him as smart.
You are able to find a strange small statuette that seems to be warping some water around it in weird ways.
He looks at the store clerk and goes, what's this?
That there is a very, very expensive Horicalcum fountain. It's a fountain made of a metal not commonly found around these places, though, to read looking at you, you would actually probably be a bit more familiar with that metal than I am.
Oh, I should mention, he's also dressed up very nice right now. He has an entertainer's outfit, but he also has like a fancy hat and vest and other stuff. He made himself look very nice today. Nevertheless, though, he goes. I assume she was referring to his Aasimar heritage. He goes, an Orichalcum fountain. Question: how much for the stones?
25 gold each.
And the test dummy?
Good question. How much would you think a test target dummy would weigh?
I'd say probably anywhere from 30 to 70 pounds, so an average of 50. They wouldn't be stupid heavy, but they would definitely be heavy enough. They have to be able to take the force of like people hitting them with swords and people shooting them with arrows, but they're also pick upable. You might not pick up more than one at a time, but they're definitely pick upable. Unless it's just someone made a very simple like stick with hay inside of a bag and they put that on top of it, in which case that wouldn't be excessively heavy. It'd still be heavy enough, but not excessively.
I'm going to go with the makers of this particular dummy cheaped out a bit. 50 gold. Otherwise, you'd be looking around like 2,800 gold.
All right. I see. Well, he looks into his coin purse, coin satchel, coin pocket, whatever. I suppose. You have yourself a good day. I might be back later. And he heads out.
As you were walking away, she calls out to you and says, "We do offer a rental service."
He turns around. How much is that? And I don't know if I can promise certain things won't get destroyed. I'm going to be in the magic style, and my thought was going to be having a summon destroy a target.
I see. Well, normally we have a 10 gold deposit, for lack of a better term that I can think of, per magic item, and then there's a 1 gold cost per day that you wish to rent those items. And obviously you would be buying the rest of the item if you were to destroy it.
Offhand, do you know, do they allow non-magic items inside of the magic style? Like if, say, I wanted just some candles lit on the floor and they weren't magic.
Oh, you're asking the shopkeep?
Yeah.
You don't think it back. I don't think anyone's actually ever tried that. I don't recall a time anyone's used a non-magic item in there. A lot of the displays we've seen over the years have usually gone hand in hand with whatever props they use. And they're set up to do so beforehand.
I mean, it's more just for show. I'm not really using it. It's just the aesthetic of having some candles sitting around. I mean, people might not even realize that they were part of the show. No, they probably will, because they'll be set up pretty obvious. But
well, you can certainly ask them when you get there.
are you an enchanter yourself?
Why, yes I am.
All right. Well, like I said, I might be back. For your whole rental, you said it's a 10 gold deposit. Does that mean if I return the stuff and it's not broken, I get back the deposit, or do you keep the deposit?
If the item's returned and it has no damage whatsoever from the time you rented it, you would get the deposit in full. If it's marred a little bit, you might only get partial of the deposit. But if it's severely damaged enough to where it would have to be replaced, you would not get the deposit back at all.
Okay, good to know. I will be back. I'm going to go ask them some questions, and based on their answers, I have some items in your shop in mind, but it all depends on their answers.
Alright, sounds good, and wondering about the price on that fountain. Just saw you looking at it. It would be about 1,000 gold to buy outright.
How heavy does it look? How?
The fountain?
Yeah.
It is about 6 inches tall and probably 5 inches wide at the base. Radius. So... yes? Let's go with 7 pounds. For the fountain.
Okay. Ah, thank you for that information. I shall be back. Most likely. And he heads out then and sees Kaz waiting for him, and then heads on up with him to the area.
Okay.
Oh, well, welcome back. I hope you found something interesting.
Kinda. I found some rocks that float that you could probably put a permanency spell on and make it do something consistent. And there was a orichalcum fountain, and it seemed to affect water around it. And I don't know how Kaz would feel about orichalcum. Kel was just telling me about how it's really rare. But it is found in the place where Unaan comes from.
Kaz probably would have never heard of it.
Which is why Unaan's talking kinda nonchalant. Like, he knows it's rare, but to him it's not as rare. One of those things of like, it's found here. And then everyone here would be like, it ain't fucking found here, you son of a bitch. But anyway, but an orichalcum fountain, and then a test dummy that fixes itself.
Huh. That sounds rather amazing. I just bought this. He holds up a fancy deck of cards. I need to do something with them before we get to the competition. I'll be walking and doing it, so it'll be pretty simple.
Proceeds to eat them. Anyway,
The cards.
But anyway, so yeah, we head on up to the thing then. I don't know what Tate's doing with this thing.
Alright, well, the actual event, by the way,
real
will be on
quick.
the other side.
As they're walking, Kaz has the deck of cards, and he's going to be casting cantrips. You can cast as many times, right?
Yes.
All right. He's going to be casting Arcane Mark on the back of each card.
I will say you can cast as many times within reason.
Yeah. So just
Time still applies.
just enough to cast it.
I'm not saying you can cast Arcane Mark 10 bazillion times in a day. That's not happening.
Oh yeah. He's just going to do it on the back of each of the cards.
Technically, every spell has a casting time, so you couldn't theoretically cast it infinitely because it takes so long. Like, Create Water is a standard action, and
Even if casting time
You
was
have to-
instantaneous, I would still not allow you to cast it 10 bazillion times.
I understand.
I know. He has an idea for the show, but other than that, he's just gonna head with Unaan towards the event.
Alright, so you guys got over there. Stand back. It's not. Oh, were you doing anything along the pathway over to the Druids Guild?
Not really, no.
Okay, so you arrive at the Druids Guild, the Mystics of the Bear. And there seems to be a lot more people here than there was for the previous test. Test?
Test.
You guys were only here for one other test, right?
Yeah, second day.
Do you enter the building?
Is there no line outside of it?
There seems to be a bunch of people gathered here, but no, there does not appear to be a line.
I'm gonna ask around if they're letting us in yet for the competition.
After a few moments of trying to find someone that can actually speak one of your languages, they say yes, you just head inside.
Okay, then I'll walk inside.
Alright, inside the Druid's Guild are a bunch of desks surrounded by various plants and materials found in nature. There's a small squirrel at the doorway on a pedestal telling people to take a seat at any of the available desks and wait there for a few minutes for the test to start. It does not appear to be anyone here in charge of the competition at the moment and seems drastically different than it did for the annual handling test. You take a seat.
Yeah.
On the desks are pieces of paper and some writing utensils, presumably for the test. Do you want to do anything beforehand?
Make sure my pencil's sharp, paper's not flimsy.
Pencil is dull as a stone, and paper is flimsy as hell.
Can I substitute this with my own paper?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I'm joking. The pencil's sharpened and paper. It's good enough for writing on.
I'll wait for further instructions. Is anyone sitting near me?
You can see a few people, various backgrounds around you.
Okay.
One of which seems to be carrying a sword on their back. You didn't do anything else?
Not for the moment.
Okay, after a brief interval then, and it appears that the desks have been filled, and no one else is going to show up, a voice can be heard throughout the room, giving instructions on how to do this test. Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Druid's Guild. We normally don't allow outsiders in here, but we always allow an exception during the festivities. Today is the test of nature. Surrounding you all on the edge of the room is a bunch of plants. You are free to get up and move around the room if you need to, as your job is to identify the plant and the type of climate it would be found in, along with any other additional details that you know about the plants. Your test will take a few hours to do, so you all can begin now. Voice seems to disappear at that, and contestants begin standing up and going from plant to plant that are nearest to them to identify them.
I will get up and look for the closest one to me and go in a circle around the room, more or less.
Well, along the edges, you can see the small saplings, shrubs, some fruity-like plants, what seem to be an herb or two, stuff like that. Any particular one you want to go up to first?
I'll start with the shrubbery.
Alright, well, congratulations. You actually picked the hardest fucking DC out of the list first. Roll me Knowledge Nature.
26.
Congratulations, you actually met the DC. You identified this plant?
Wasn't it?
It was actually a bit lower than 25.
Good fucking job.
You identified the plant as winterberry, a shrub growing 3 to 16 feet tall that loses their leaves in the fall and can spread to form dense thickets in wet environments but stays a tight shrub in dry soils. The leaves are green and glossy with a red spherical berry. As a fun fact, every plant here in this test is actually in real life.
Okay.
And some of this information may have been lifted from Wikipedia. In fact, all of this information was lifted from Wikipedia.
I didn't know the ancient times had their own Wikipedia.
The DM used Wikipedia. Alright, so you bet on that one.
What's the one to the right of this one?
A shrub. Sorry, not a shrub, a sapling.
I'll look at that one.
Okay, Knowledge Nature.
I'm gonna use one of my rerolls, because that 16 rolled to a 1.
You mean hero point reroll, or?
Birthday reroll.
Was actually brought over?
I don't think so, or else I would have been using those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those didn't get brought over, but yeah, those would be valid too. I guess they got forgotten about or something.
I never used mine.
Jared gets 3.
So, what'd you roll?
27.
At this point, you're just gonna fucking get them all.
Roll of 19.
You're able to identify the sapling as a black alder. A tree that is often found in moist soils with a dark green upper surface and paler green underside with often much longer leaves than other trees and often remain green late in fall. The tree's newer leaves and buds are often left sticky with a resinous gum. This type of tree can be seen being used for tanning and dyeing of products and in culinary specialties for smoking foods.
Ooh, I kind of want some of these around our guild if we ever make one.
Shall I go to the plant to the right or to the left of the Winterberry?
Let's go to the left.
Okay, roll knowledge nature. The plant itself appears to be viney with a black-colored berry on it.
16.
You successfully identify this plant as a blackberry plant. It's an obvious by a black-colored berry on it, which is a perennial plant that grows vigorously if it do stem to its full length. Otherwise, it grows wider to produce flowering branches that have 3 or 5 leaflets with often very sharp prickles.
I used to
often
have
compared to being thorns.
I used to have one of those in my backyard. We fell into it once.
Ouch.
It sucked.
Why did you fall into it once?
We lived on a hill, and I was an uncoordinated little kid.
Uh-huh.
Are those little bristle pokies?
You might even call them prickles.
Yes. I hated those. We fucking... Ah. Cactus
many-
devils.
How many more plants are left?
You can see that there are a total of 4 plants left.
I think I'll just keep going on the left till I cover them all.
Okay, next up on the left is a sapling. Roll me knowledge nature.
17.
Out of curiosity, what is your bonus knowledge nature?
8.
Aha. Probably should have made the DCs a bit higher. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win, but we'll find it. This sapling is identified as a sugar maple. It is a deciduous tree normally reaching very tall heights, often found in colder environments, but not in environments covered in snow year-round. The sugar maple is often a source of a specialized syrup used in foods. Its wood is often used in specialized furniture like pool cues, especially for the shaft.
Oh my.
Yes, warding was intentional, Tate. So you're going to left again, no?
Yes.
Knowledge nature. If you fail this one, I'm going to be sad.